My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Geminis. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For this evening, I'm going to be doing your general love reading, your 5-card spread. But before I do that, I want to offer these 24 red roses as a token of my love and appreciation for your love, support, and devotion towards my channel. And thank you so much for joining me in this beautiful evening as well. So this 5-card love reading includes where the first card represents you, the second the other person, the third the relationship, fourth the past, fifth the future. Then I'm going to draw a Vampire Oracle for you, and then Favole and one card from the French Tarot deck of Le Tarot Interdit Vampiria. And this is interesting. For card number 1, for you, you get 5 of Swords. You know, the thing is I'm kind of getting 2 different senses, and of course you probably already know because this is about winning some kind of battle. Now, you could be winning the battle of somebody's heart. You could be literally, just saying, okay, I put effort, time, so much into this relationship. This person finally came through and said, you know what? Well, you did everything, you bought me, lunch, dinners, what have you, or even bouquet of flowers, chocolates, or you even, did all this for me. You know what? I'm convinced that you want to be with me. So, you know what? I finally metaphorically cave romantically because it just shows that you wanted to be with this person, your desire, and, you pretty much really knew you guys were meant to be together. So this is a very strong and powerful, love offering, in other ways to say, I would do whatever it takes, to be with you, I would, what have you, and stuff like that, right? But on the negative, it just shows that you've been through a divorce or breakup, but yet you were pretty much right for doing so. Because, maybe, the other person just messed up so many times or in so many, situations where you pretty much decide, nope, I have so many reasons to end this relationship and I'm pretty much in the right here. So, but anyway, let's see who the other person is or could be. Hanged Man. Now, the thing is, if we look at, you again from like 2 different angles, even with this Pisces Hanged Man, this is about doing introspection as well. Because the thing about if you win some kind of battle, it's always good, especially if you want something to still do, or, do introspection and kind of have this inner alignment with yourself to verify all the details to make sure it all made sense instead of just thinking, you know what, I'm just going to walk away. I mean, you could always do it, but it's always good just to kind of, maybe process the whole event and then verify how it's, if you're really happy with how it went, if you just say, yeah, it's like, I guess I could have done this or that better, or maybe that was kind of a bit of overboard and stuff like that. It's always good just to have a bit of, just to check in with yourself to say, did I do this properly or correctly and stuff like that. But it could also be how, you want some battle, and let's say, it's like on a silver lining negative that this person is also kind of processing and doing a lot of self-reflection, him or herself, in other ways, by saying, yeah, but why did I even do that to Gemini? How could I have actually maybe, do this or that wrong? Why did I cheat on Gemini? Why did I do this, or why did I say that, and stuff like that? I mean, it could also be that you guys are still currently together and that, you're pretty much, still that you guys just had a big argument of some kind and that you one and the other person is still kind of processing the whole situation as well. Because with regard to relationship, you get 10 of Wands. So, there's a lot of hard work involved, or there could be still hard work involved in, your current relationship. But it could also be how you felt incredibly burdened, how you pretty much just think, but this could also be on a positive note that a lot of hard work paid off because you did whatever it took to be with this person. But on a different note, it just shows that, maybe, you feel like that you're overworked, you're overburdened, that you do the majority of the chores, you have a career job, you're doing everything with your fledglings, you have the whole tray to yourself, and you just think, well, what about my partner, whoever it is in your life? Why isn't this person helping me? Because I feel like I'm doing everything by myself, and this person is just kind of just lounging around, maybe even sleeping a lot, because this is a metaphorical way how vampires would normally sleep. I don't. I just sleep just horizontal in a coffin, but I just think it's interesting how vampires are portrayed like that, right? But but sorry for that. But the point, what I just want to say is, it's like, if you feel like, that you're underappreciated, you're overworked, you feel burdened, you're just doing everything, then it just shows that you were in the right to actually feel that way and maybe even win this battle. Because in the past, 4 of Wands, my goodness, this thing almost fell. Four of Wands, happy home, happy earth, happy family, and confidence. So, obviously, you guys were meant to be together. Everything just worked out. Once upon a time you fell in love. Maybe you did get married, what have you. Or, maybe you're just, we're still in a courtship phase in other ways. But obviously you guys, did fall in love with each other and stuff like that. But the thing about relationships, they are so complex. It's like how humans or even us vampires are. Because the thing is, one minute you feel this, the next minute you feel like that. So one minute, it's all sunshine and rainbows, everything is just beautiful, and the next, suddenly you're hit with this unforeseen, thunderstorm and stuff like that. Well, that's just even with any kind of weather condition, you don't have control of the situation. I mean, of course, you have control of your own actions and stuff like that, but it just showed that you guys love each other, and that sometimes it's not always going to be, just, sunshine and rainbows. There are always going to be moments where one person feels a certain, maybe a bit negative, maybe you feel tired, and then you kind of come across as a little bit, sharp with other people, or maybe the other person, came across as a bit sharp, because humans are still going to have their own emotions, feelings, what have you. And so, but of course, it's like if you can mostly remind each other that you both fell in love with each other. But it could also be on a different note that this was in the past, and this is where you were pretty much working on, divorcing and breaking up with this person, and here you finally finalized it as well. Because in the future, though, King of Wands, Leo energy, my goodness. Maybe you have Leo placements, maybe, you're currently with a Leo, but I see confidence and strength within yourself. So I feel like that this relationship could go either way, but you will definitely get a happy ending. And the fact is that you will have a lot of strength and confidence within yourself to decide on which, direction it's going to be heading off towards. If you want to divorce or break up, do whatever feels right, because that's what the confidence card is mostly showing, is that it mostly, will give you the go-ahead. If you want to stay with this person and you realize that the other person was wrong, and this person is going to be admitting to say, yeah, that was actually wrong of me to do so, again, do whatever. If you want to be with each other, because there was also this Four of Wands, happy home, happy hearth, happy family in the past, and this is what's practically waiting for you or you in the future as well. So I feel like that, today's love reading is mostly based off of what you personally want and how you're going to go about it. Because Oracle says faith, trust, unwavering, and confidence. So I feel like, just trust your own, inner instincts, your own gut instinct and stuff like that, and to think, okay, what do I personally want and how am I going to go about it? There's not going to be any right or wrong answers, especially when it comes to a complicated topic as relationships and the best way to go about it. Because, it's like, I'm not going to over explain myself because, I tend to do that. That's why I try to keep my readings as short as possible, but it's not like a 1 + 1 = 2 kind of answer. It's pretty much just thinking, okay, but whatever. The thing is I'm sure you are probably aware of that, but I would definitely have faith and trust yourself, to actually think, okay, and to proceed with whatever you personally want. Because Vivoli wants to continue with Justice. So, justice will be on your side. Maybe you might even have Libra placements. But I feel like if you are going to divorce or break up from this person, you will have confidence and you will pretty much have justice on your side to really be your best guide, to really actually... But you could also have, this sense of stability as well, where you just think, okay, it's like nobody is perfect. I have confidence and strength to actually decide on what I want. And the thing is, but I feel like that either way, it's like there's going to be a sense of balance, a sense of realization. Everything is pretty much just going to work out in your favor, and that's kind of what justice has for you somewhere in the future. But the Tarot Interdit Vampirium wants to finish off with Éclaireur d'Argent. So this is kind of like the Page of Pentacles in other ways as well. So what this is mostly talking about is you're definitely going to be going out on this journey. Maybe you're going to actually head out to find, true love in other ways as well, because, for even the single Geminis out in this world, it's like you could be, in like, maybe internal struggles and stuff like that in other ways, and that you should definitely have faith that you'll eventually find true love. Maybe you will eventually find a Leo in your life, or maybe a Pisces, or maybe a Libra, or maybe more, other fire placements of Aries, in Sagittarius as well, but I do see some type of movement, some kind of offering where you're either heading off to find this offering or there's going to be an offering heading off towards you, because a pentacle, when it comes to like, is considered like an ornament of some kind. And what is an ornament? It could come from an engagement ring, wedding ring, or even divorce papers or some kind of agreement as well. So there's obviously going to be something, some kind of offering heading off towards you, or maybe you're going to find some kind of offering elsewhere. But either way, I do see so much confidence for my beautiful Geminis out in this world. Sad but true, I'm going to have to leave it at this, but if this reading resonated for my beautiful Gemini placements out in this world, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel for more Vampire Tarot, because next week I'm going to be doing the Macabre Tarot, where I'm going to help you guys overcome your fears. But other than that, I love you guys incredibly. I want to thank you all so much for joining me, and as per usual, take excellent good care of yourselves.